I'm Kaitlyn Ray. I'm from New Lenox, Illinois. I'm a junior. I'm the classroom sophomore on the court, and I'm a shooting guard. Well, growing up, I played soccer, I played softball and basketball, and then when I got into high school, I tried out golf and I played badminton for a year to try something different. Softball and basketball were my big passions growing up, so I stuck with those as long as possible, and then around, I think it was my freshman year of high school, I had to choose because they were both in the same season over the summer for like the competitive, and I decided to stick with basketball because it was just something that I always worked on my own time, and I always enjoyed going to practices and games and tournaments, and I just always wanted to get better, whereas softball, I loved softball, but I didn't have that kind of passion to always get better and want to play at the next level. So that's why I chose basketball over the other sports. A big reason I decided to play for USF was they were recruiting me after I had my first surgery, and I had a couple schools that were recruiting me at that time. Then I got hurt the second time, and then a lot of schools left me, but they had like the faith in me that I was going to come back strong, and they still wanted to give me an offer to come here. And for someone to have that kind of, they saw like the dedication I had, and they knew that I could come back from my injuries, and they wanted to see me get better and all that. So that's a big reason why, because they still had faith in me that I was, still dedicated to the sport. And I also like the school here. I like the amount of students. It's a small campus. I live close, so it all kind of worked out in the end. My junior year in high school, I went down with my first ACL. It was on my left leg, and then my senior year, I tore my right ACL. My freshman year here, I had re-injured my meniscus in my left leg, and then this past season, I went down and re-tore my left again. So I've had 4 knee surgeries altogether. I would say at the time they all were terrible, and I was really down and depressed about it. But today, looking back at it, I really think it's made me a stronger person, and definitely has prepared me for obstacles that I'll face in the future, more than just basketball related. And it definitely has helped me with that. And just having to go through all the adversity and all like the pain and the rehab, it's definitely made me stronger physically and mentally as well. So, everyone could look at it as being a bad thing, but I try to find the positives out of it. Yeah, when I went in for this most recent one where they weren't sure if it was torn or not, the doctor, I got an MRI, and he did like the manipulation tests that they kind of always do with knee injury players, and he told me that it was torn. And he said to me, he was like, I know you've been through a lot of surgeries, so it's up to you, because you can live without it, but if you want to play, then we'll fix it. And I was kind of looking at him like, of course I want to get it fixed, like of course I want to play. And he was just telling me how he can't believe it, like I was such a trooper for wanting to do it, and he was happy just to help me out, and he did everything he possibly could and gave me all the knowledge so I could prepare myself to get back healthy and come back from it again. And I don't know, it's just something where I would regret it for the rest of my life if I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna give up and not even try. So that's a big reason why I got it fixed again. I definitely have been working hard a lot with rehab, getting back in shape, getting shots up. And I would say my biggest goal for this season is, besides staying healthy the whole season, would be, I want to be a leader on this team. I want to motivate my teammates, get them excited for all the games, going to practice. And I just kind of want to be like an inspiration. Like if she could, do these drills, why can't I? I'm healthy, and I want to do this, I want to do that kind of deal. I just want to go out there and contribute the best I can to my team, and obviously, like I said, be a leader out there, and make it through the season and help the team. Hopefully we could get to the national tournament. Nate Robinson, the one I could just think of off the top of my head, where when Derrick Rose got hurt last year, he came out and he had this step, about him where he fired up his teammates all the time, and he came up in clutch situations, and he was just like awesome and fun to watch. Like, I feel that I could compare that way. Everyone always tells me that I always have so much emotion on the court and just my energy, and it's always fun to watch, and big games excite me, and you could see that in him whenever they played the Heat or in the Knicks, competitive teams. He always had this like spark during those games. So I guess I could see myself kind of like him. I think this year's team, you're gonna see girls, giving 110% all the time. And I feel that we definitely want to do better than we did last year. I know that we want to compete in our conference, because now the conference is split into 2 divisions. So I know we want to compete for that first, second spot and hopefully get a bid to nationals. Like, we made goals at the beginning of the season, and that was one big goal we had, is that we wanted to make it to the national tournament this year.